Packers just had an awful week 1, but now they get a chance to bounce back against the Lions. Do you think they're going to notch their first W this evening?
It'll be interesting. I think they definitely understand that the performance last week was not acceptable against New Orleans, that it's not up to their standard. They know that this coaching staff here in Detroit, though, especially on the defensive side, since most of the attention is on Green Bay's offense, they know on the defensive side with Aaron Glenn as the defensive coordinator coming from New Orleans that he's very familiar with how to defend the Packers offense. So they know that this is going to be maybe a bigger challenge than maybe most people on the outside feel as though that it's going to be. And I think they're ready for it. Aaron Rodgers was very, very, very direct, very serious about how he felt that this team needed to play in this game. For me personally, I think it's even more interesting how this Packers defense looks, because I think that ultimately is what will cap their upside if their upside gets capped here in 2021, because of the fact that they aren't able to get on the same page and play up to a championship level. That's what I'm even more interested in. I'm not worried about the Packers offense. Everyone else may be freaking out about some of the things that happened to them, but I'm not worried about them because they have the reigning MVP. They have one of the great systems in terms of offensive football that this game has right now. I think they'll be fine on that side. I think we're in for a really good game.
What about the expectations, though, Louis, of what we saw last week against the New Orleans Saints?
Mm-hmm.
But as we move forward, does the expectations change for Green Bay now that we've had 2 weeks to see other teams in the NFC, the likes of the Rams, the 49ers, Arizona Cardinals, obviously Tampa Bay, emerging Carolina team?
I don't think it changes, Key. I think it's still, for them, it's always win the division, be a contender in the NFC, get to the conference title game, and get to the Super Bowl. I don't think it changes at all. I don't think they really worry about how every other team is looking, either on the upside or the downside. I think that the expectation here is to always be the division winner, always be in the conference title game, always be pushing for Super Bowls, and that hasn't changed regardless of what everyone else is doing or regardless of how they played last week. They know last week was unacceptable. They know that. And you could hear that coming through loud and clear from everybody that we talked to. And like I said, I think offensively, Key, I think they'll be fine. I think they will put up points. I think they'll be a 21, 24-point easily per game type of offense when this year plays out. The thing I'm concerned about is defensively, is whether or not they can get on the same page from a communication standpoint, and whether or not they're a football team that when teams challenge them as far as the physical aspect of the game, trying to stop the run, teams try to come downhill on them, can they handle that? Because you know that's what they're going to get tonight from Detroit. That's why I think this game is going to be better than maybe what many people expect it to be.
Louis, Dan Campbell in his first year, obviously, with the Detroit Lions. But what are some of the steps that he needs to take in order to change the culture of the Lions organization? What would you do?
Yeah, I think, one of the things that they are doing is they're trying to instill this belief in players that, hard work, physicality, staying true to, the message that he has put into place all along, which is attention to detail. Again, playing physical, playing assignment-focused football is something that ultimately will result in wins. And I think in order to change cultures, Jay, I think that's one of the things that ultimately you have to have success with the things that you're preaching. Every coach kind of has the blueprint or has some version of the blueprint or the speech that you need when you go into an organization or into a program to kind of like reset everything. Every coach kind of says basically the same kind of thing. But ultimately, as a player, if you don't see it positively impact you as far as your performance or impact your team as far as winning, the culture ain't changing. What ultimately starts changing the culture is success on the football field, seeing you have more points than the opponent does. And until they start winning, or when they start winning, because they do believe that they will start winning here, it's not going to – we just don't know if it's going to be successful. I know that the coaches that they have on this staff are very, very competent, have gained the respect of the players on this football team based on the kind of things that those coaches did as players when they played in the NFL. They're highly, highly skilled as far as teaching the game, the fundamentals of the game. So I think they're on the right track, and I think they are having these guys kind of lose some of the mentality that they've had in the past in terms of being accustomed to losing, not really expecting to win. I think they're changing that, and they're getting their kind of people in here and the kind of people they think will buy into their message. But ultimately, it's going to have to, in order for them to ultimately change the culture, they have to win, and they have to win in significant moments, like on Monday night, like against the Titans of the league, like the Giants. I mean, like the Packers, because until they start doing that, it's just all talk.
Louis Riddick, ESPN Monday Night Football analyst, joining us on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. You could listen to him tonight on Monday Night Football. Jared Goff brought the Detroit Lions back from a 24-point deficit to close the gap last week against the San Francisco 49ers. But, Louis, you know how this league is. He seems to be on a, trial basis for Detroit right now. What does he have to do to solidify that spot for the future?
I think like all quarterbacks, man, he needs to, when they need him the most, when he needs to convert those third downs that are crucial in crucial moments the most, when he needs to throw to make the right decisions in the red area, whether it be getting them into the right run play or making the right throw, making the quick, correct read to get it to the right receiver, that he does that on a consistent basis. I think that's what over the course of the 17-game season he's going to have to show in order for them to stay down on this path and stay heading down this road with him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.